What's up guys, Nico and me here, and I was going to talk about the Alolan forms of the Tapus again, but guess what? I found something even more interesting that I wanted to talk about now, and I know you guys will probably want to talk about. So, we have a Pokemon that is very, very strong that we haven't talked about yet, and I think all of us kind of like shut out. We kind of dealt with it and we're like, Pokemon Z didn't happen, we'll put it away. But again, I don't want to be spoiled about the story, so I have no idea what Zygarde is doing in the story. What I do know is it's crazy strong, so I feel very like emotional right now. But what I wanted to talk about in particular was the #1 Pokemon in terms of total base stat is ARCEUS with 720 base stat total. Does it keep that record after this game? Well, I'll tell you at the end of the video, but what I can tell you now is #2 is Mewtwo, Lugia, and a few others that are tied with 680. The Pokemon that I'm talking about in this video, Zygarde Complete Form, is more than 680. Is it more than 720 and it will be the strong Pokemon, the most strongest Pokemon of all time? Well, we'll know. But I want to talk about the 10% form because I'm a troll. So, it can learn lots of moves that are, okay. It's Dragon Ground. Its base stat total is like a regular old Pokemon with 486. But the most important thing here is it knows a new move called Land's Wrath, which is basically like a 10-point weaker Earthquake. And it doesn't have area effect, I think. So, that's interesting. And then Dragon Breath, Bite, Dig, Dragon Pulse, Outrage, Crunch. So none of those are like too notable, but it's interesting to talk about. But now let's talk about the complete form. Zygarde Complete Form has the new ability Power Construct. The other cells gather to aid when its HP becomes half or less. Then the Pokemon changes. I don't know if that means it gets stronger when it hits 50 or it goes weaker when it hits 50%. But I guess we'll know soon enough. But here's the thing. It's still Dragon Ground, and it knows the following moves. Dragon Pulse, Outrage, Crunch, Earthquake, Land's Wrath, basically all the ones we talked about before, but also has the TMs, Brick Break, Sludge Wave, Grass Knot, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Sleep Talk, Substitute. Now let's talk about the stats. It is the second strongest Pokemon of all time now, at a base stat total of 708. The closest Pokemon to Arceus, only 12 base stats lower than Arceus, and 28 more than the original second place, which is Mewtwo, Lugia, and all that. So this is the strongest Pokemon of all time besides Arceus. It's very close to Arceus, and it's very, very, very close. But unlike Arceus, Arceus has all of its stats really high, but they're all equilateral. This is not all, I'm pretty sure, this is not all equilateral. HP is extremely high at 216. Its attack is 100, its defense is 121, its special attack is 91, special defense is 95, and speed is 85. So, its attacks are pretty mixed, but it does have 9 stats higher and stat points higher than special attack. So maybe we'll call it a physical attacker. So its moveset would be something like this as a physical attacker: Earthquake or the new Land Wrath move, Outrage, maybe something like either Return, Stone Edge. It doesn't have that big of a variety, I don't think, which is like okay, but it's still a really strong Pokemon. So yeah, something like Earthquake, Outrage, Stone Edge, or Rock Slide, and then Return is probably what it's going to be. It is a huge powerhouse with massive HP, really strong attack and defense. So we're really going to have to see how this thing goes. But thank you for watching. I just want to talk about Zygarde because I think it's really interesting that we now have a Pokemon with really, really close base stat totals to Arceus, which it's 12 away from. Before this, we only had one that was 40 away from. So that's really interesting. Thanks you for watching. Thanks you. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.